Hey guys, TSW here, finally in Ruby Sanctum. You can see us killing the third of the three mini bosses here. The one on the left, all I'll say is tank the boss away from the ads, and the one on the right, make sure you run away when you get targeted. Here we are pulling Halion. I pull him to kind of like this location. You can see where the rest of the raid is away from me, but you ideally want to get the raid on one side and obviously the tank at the front, because he does a flame breath which inflicts 30k fire damage to everyone in front of him. This is when I use my blood rage cooldown, equipped with tier 10 Forset. It's really good and absorbs a large majority, if not all, of the flame breath. He's also got a ability called Twilight Precision, which increases his chance to hit by 5% and decreases all players' chance to dodge by 20%. This is basically the Ice Ground debuff, but this guy's version. He also does Meteor Mash, which inflicts 20k fire damage to all enemies within 12 yards of the targeted area. Takes about 5 seconds to land and shoots an X-shaped fiery mess all over the ground. You can see it land, and there is a circle showing you where it is going to land. Really easy to avoid, and the fire's not hard, nor will the fire one-shot you. There'll also be a debuff going out called Fiery Combustion. It inflicts 4k fire damage every 2 seconds for 30 seconds to a random raider. Every Fiery Combustion does damage, and it applies a stackable debuff called Mark of Combustion. What Mark of Combustion does is nothing initially, but when it's debuffed, you can see the two white circles on the screen. The more marks of combustion you have when it's dispelled, the bigger that circle will be. So you want to dispel it ideally when the person with the fiery combustion is far enough away from the raid that they're not going to be attacking, or people aren't going to be taking damage when it's dispelled. But you don't want to leave it too long, or else it'll just cover the whole circle. You can see that because we're locked in here in the fiery circle, you can see running around. Phase 2 starts when you see this portal. You've got all the same abilities as Phase 1, except now instead of fire damage you're taking shadow damage, so adjust your auras or totems accordingly. The main abilities are going to be Dusk Shroud, which inflicts 4.5k shadow damage every 2 seconds to everyone in the Shadow Realm, and Shadow Pulses. Basically what this means is that there'll be a big purple line from Halion's head to his tail all the way across the raid zone, and if you get hit by this beam you're dead. You need to make sure you avoid it at all costs, but there'll still be the mark of combustions going out, and instead of combustion, which also knocks you away when you stand in it, you've got consumption, which drags you in. If you get caught by this, you can very easily get hit by the beam, and that's not good. Just remember it's all shadow damage, and just keep running and avoid that beam at all costs. This is Phase 3, which has just began. Halion is now both in the Shadow Realm and this realm, which is the physical realm. So you want to spread your damage out as best you can, because he'll get a buff called Co-Plurality. What this does is that if you have much more damage on your Shadow realm, for instance, and not as much on this realm, the physical realm, he'll get a buff in this realm, which will increase his damage by however much more damage you're doing in the Shadow Realm. So say we're doing 5% more damage in the Shadow Realm, we're going to be taking, or I'm going to be taking 5% more damage, but also he'll be taking 5% more damage. So you can kind of use it to your advantage if you've got well overgeared tanks. I think we were around on 5%. I'm not really sure how it scales up, but it basically means that Halion will do between 5% and 20% damage extra, and if we do more damage in this realm, the Shadow Realm are going to be having a harder time. What I generally say is, because the Shadow Realm is harder, we found you've got raid damage because of the Dusk Shroud, as well as the beam to take into account. I mean, doing this is easy. I'm relatively sure healing this is easy, or easier than in the Shadow Realm. So you want to send more DPS or your top DPS into the Shadow Realm, because I mean you can pretty much take it in the physical realm. What I will say is that as a tank it's pretty easy tactics. You don't really have to run out at any point. The hardest thing is kiting the beam in the Shadow Realm. I'm sorry I can't really give you any footage of it, but it's basically just a beam that goes from Halion's head to his tail. Just run around the room, get him in the middle of the room, just spin him round, relatively slowly, because you obviously need to bear in mind that people are casting spells at you to heal you, or on the boss to kill him, and also bear in mind where the puddles are, and get everyone using or getting dispelled with their combustion or consumption, sorry, in the Shadow Realm, away from where you're wanting to be tanking him ideally. And that's about the fight. I mean, as I was saying, as a tank, all you need to do is just stand in front of the boss and take it. Make sure you're not facing the boss towards anybody. That's pretty much the physical realm. In the Shadow Realm, you've just got to run around the room a little bit. I mean, you get that within the first attempt. If you do it on 10 man, you'll have a easy time in 25 man. We are doing it in 25 man normal mode. Phase switching is third phase starts at 50%. Second phase starts at 70%. Thank you very much for watching. I've been TSW. You can see the loot here for everyone who's interested. There's a knockback on the combustion in the physical phase. And do we get another one? It's not ticking, or it's ended. There's the loot. Cheers for watching. I've been TSW. Please rate this video whatever you think it deserves, and subscribe if it is your first time watching my videos and you enjoyed it and want to see more of what I do. And also, if you've got any thoughts, views, tips, anything, you can leave a comment, and if it's really useful, I will mention your YouTube name in the next video. You can see here there was a quest which you did on the left hand side. There was some Blood Elf girl you spoke to. She basically wanted you to kill the boss, and she would give you 5 Frost Emblems, so that's always cool. Anyway, cheers for watching, and catch you guys later. Bye bye.